5-star shout out.
I'm gonna say this line. I'm not gonna say it because I don't believe in it. I don't believe in you can't make you know what I'm talking about.
Good morning. It's Saturday. It's 10 a.m. You know what time it is. Welcome to the side, Jawn. I'm your host, Sharon, the chocolate girl, the chocolate writer, or just Sharon. And I'm joined with my very special guest again, Miss Tricia. Tricia Joy is what I'm going to call her. Hey, Tricia.
Hey, what's up, Sharon? Good morning, everyone. Glad to be here.
Yeah, I'm a little bit subdued. I'm trying to get into my subdued mode because we're going to have somewhat of a chippy conversation today on some things. And I'm trying to approach it in my zen. I don't want to get all upset. I want to woosah and just be calm and calmly have a intelligent discussion with you about basketball, namely the NBA and the WNBA, which is going to be great. Your specialty.
My love. I wouldn't say it's specialty. I wouldn't call this a specialty. It's called like passion, where I can be very rational and irrational at the same time and still make it work.
Rational and irrational, huh?
I listen. I'm honest. I'm honest about myself. I know how it goes down with me when I lock in, and not all of it I believe is correct, but I know it's true, right? And there's a difference.
Oh, tell everybody about just take about a minute or two and just talk about your love for the game of basketball. Why do you love it, and what about it do you love?
So I fell in love with basketball at a very early age. I want to let people know that I was the only girl in my family till I was about 16. And so I have been pulled into different sports by way of my guy cousin brothers, call them. And I saw a lot of NBA. I loved the Bulls. I particularly loved Steve Kerr. Something about Steve Kerr, not Michael Jordan, but Steve Kerr, tugged at my heart.
That's your favorite player, and I was so stunned the first time you told me that. I was like, "What?"
I don't know. When I was, maybe it was because it was like an unlikely helper, right? Like that storyline. As a kid, we all like stories, and he's the bench guy that came in and like played great minutes and contributed to the team and made some clutch shots. And I'm like, wow, the unlikely guy. And so I kind of gravitated to like, man, he's always ready, even though people aren't looking at him as the top. And that kind of translates to life. A lot of people are looked down on, and or they're not considered a valuable part of teams, even at work, even in the home. But you can contribute. You got, even if it's you're not the biggest person or the best person on the team, always know that you can contribute. Always believe in yourself, and when you get that moment and people see it, make sure they acknowledge it too. But everyone can contribute. You don't have to be the star, but you are important. And I think that kind of maybe resonated with me, you know? And the rest is history. He won a number of rings with the Bulls. Then went on to the Spurs. I followed him to the no, was it the Spurs? Yeah, he 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 played with what did he? Yeah, he played with the Spurs. Then he played with no,
He was at Cleveland before he went to Chicago.
yes, he was at Cleveland. We'll talk a little bit about Cleveland later today, but
Mm.
uh, yeah, I really liked him. I liked his story. I also volunteer with a basketball AAU team for young women, and we help those young ladies from grade 5 through 12 and into college with basketball. We're doing some significant things this coming year, and I invite everyone to, if they're in the New York area, send their, at least we're starting with junior high, but send them to the camps. We're already talking about what they need to do to play in college at between fifth and eighth grade, so they can have a 4-year plan going into high school and what they have to prepare for. So everything about my life is basketball. I love it so much, and yeah, I share that passion with you guys on a daily basis, whether you like it or not.
I mean, there's nothing they can do about it, pretty much.
Whether you like it or not, I'm
Yeah,
in there.
but that's awesome. I just wanted people to understand where that comes from. For me, my love of basketball started when I was really, really young. I was really young, what, 10, maybe 9 years
Mm.
old. And I hate to say this, but it was Magic Johnson that actually brought me into watching basketball the way I
Okay.
do now. It was Magic Johnson. It started with him when Michigan State won the national championship over Indiana State and Larry Bird, and that's still the top watched, the most watched national championship basketball game of all time. It still is. This was
Hmm.
1979.
Wow.
That's a long time ago. But anyway, that's what brought me to the game. And then when he went to the Lakers, that's what brought me to the Lakers and why I've always loved the Lakers since I was that age. And my father loved the Lakers. He was a big Wilt Chamberlain fan, and he was also Elgin Baylor fan. He loved Elgin Baylor, and so of course, Lakers was on in my house if we ever got to see it. Of course, it
Right.
was tape delay back then, you know. But I was a little girl. I didn't even know what tape delay was. I didn't know
Right.
that
Right. It was live to
it
you.
was live to me. So anyway, long story short, that's where it came from, and it just seemed to me most of my boyfriends growing up played basketball. There was some track stars and some football players too, and a baseball player, but mostly basketball. It was just something about the sport that I really loved. Even the sound of the basket going through the hoop, the squeaking of the shoes on the floor. I like all of that about the game. The way it moves, it's almost like watching ballet to me.
Right.
If they
Right.
play a good game, if they have a good, pretty game.
Yeah, we have the same.
Unlike the trucks barreling down the lane, which is a whole nother thing that doesn't appeal to me. But the game of basketball can be like watching ballet to me. But
Mm,
anyway, I love it. It is my favorite sport. I'm not just saying that because that's a line in a rap song. I really believe that. For me, it is my favorite sport. So welcome to the side, Jawn, you all. Please like and share this show. And if you go into the comments, please tag people because I don't have that benefit of that producer today. So I need help getting people tagged. So share it. Hey, Sister Sheila. Sister Sheila's in the comments. Say hi to Sheila,
Hi, Sheila. What's up? What's up?
Tricia. Tag some people, Sheila. But anyway, so we're gonna have a good basketball discussion today, Tricia Joy. I think we're going to start with the big question that started being raised about 2 or 3 weeks ago on the one and only LeBron James and whether or not he deserves a statue in Los Angeles. Because that was the first question. Does he deserve a statue at the end of his season after he leaves or whatever? Does he deserve a statue at this point in LA? Then it morphed into, well, he definitely deserves it in Cleveland. What about Miami? Well, yeah, I think he could deserve it in Miami too. He could have three in three different. He'll be the only player to have three statues in three different places. I'm like,
Why you don't
okay,
believe he should?
Kobe has three in one. He gonna have three in one. To me, that's more impressive because that says what you meant to that franchise the whole time. But anyway, anything that they can find to say, look at what LeBron did. Let's boost it. Come on. Yeah. So anyway, I think I'm going to have our guests go first and give your opinion on the whole statue LeBron thing. And for those people who are watching who have been living under a rock, LeBron James was drafted by the Cleveland Cavaliers. He played there for a time. He had the Decision TV show, announced he was moving to Miami. He teamed up with Dwayne Wade, one of my favorite players, and Chris Bosh in Miami. I believe he was there 4 seasons. 4, 1, 2. Yeah, 4 seasons. He was there 4 seasons, won 2 championships out of 4 years. And then he went back to Cleveland, won a championship there, stayed there for some years. And since 2018, has been terrorizing the people in Los Angeles, being my beloved Lakers team, where they've won 1 chip. And I'm not even going to talk about that other thing that they created last season for him so he can get a chip. Yeah. I'm not even going to talk about that. But that's the history of LeBron James. Oh, meanwhile, since he's been at the Lakers, he broke Kareem's record for scoring the most points. So that's over 40,000 points in his career. So he's done that.
That's a significant thing.
Significant thing. He hasn't won any MVPs in a long time, but he, of course, won the Finals MVP, even though many people, including myself, feel like Anthony Davis deserved that MVP in the last finals they won in 2020 in the bubble. But I digress. He did get it. They gave it to him. That's the one where he turns around, with the trophies and he says, they deserve their respect and I want my damn respect too. That's the one. Yeah. He's got some killer one-liners, boy, I tell you.
He's probably got a list of them ready to release.
Oh, well, he's going to go down in history as one of the most annoying superstars in the NBA of all time to me. You love to hate him because of his antics. His game is great, but his antics are just
he can't
mind-boggling to me.
He can't help it. He can't help it.
He can't, but he should be able to. Mm-hmm. You're supposedly King James,
You really hate this man.
No, I don't hate him. But he's King James. He named himself King James, honey. Don't let these people fool you, Tricia.
The chosen one.
Somebody else named him. No, the chosen one. Nobody. No, he named himself both. Long before that Sports Illustrated article. Don't want to hear it. That's the truth of the matter. Argue with that drunk uncle of yours. Don't argue with me because I know it's fact. But anyway, you're supposed to be this. Why do you feel you have to do all these antics to say, look at me, call me the best, call me the GOAT? Gotta put your wife on stage to say, respectfully, the GOAT. The way she said, every time I play that and I listen to the way she said it, it's like,
listen,
are we in high school? Tricia, are we in high school? You damn near 40 years old, and this is how you talk and with your head. And
we are not.
She had everything except for her hand on her hip. All she had to do was put her hand on the hip and do like this.
You gonna leave Savannah alone?
That's all she was missing.
She's sad. She's this is my man, and I'm gonna stick by him.
Listen, I'm
This,
gonna stay. I'm gonna stay beside him. Remember
yeah,
that TikTok
I'm
video?
gonna stand
I'm gonna
beside
stay
him.
beside him.
I'm gonna
I'm gonna
stand
stay here
beside
beside him. That's who you want. What Steve Wilkos said. That's who you want.
him.
I'm gonna stay beside him.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna stick
that's
beside
her.
him.
But anyway, I have no animosity against her. I love Savannah. I think the woman is bad. First of all,
Right,
she's beautiful. She's smart. She did exactly what she was supposed to do, and this man loves her. And I
right.
love it. I love, their family. I love watching him on Instagram with the Taco Tuesday videos and all of that. I am a lover of LeBron James, the family man.
But
It's
not
the
the player.
antics. I can't get
Not the
past these
player.
antics. These antics are just stupid and unnecessary. Unnecessary. So Sheila says she's been living under a rock. So do you understand this is where all this is coming from, Sheila? Now you know the backstory and why this is a big deal. Why are people asking, does he deserve a statue in one of those three places? I'm gonna let my guest go first. Take it away, Tricia Joy.
Okay, so I do believe
Wait a
that
minute, do I need a pen? Do I need to take notes? I might need to take notes on you.
you don't have to take notes. Everybody knows that I have similar feelings about LeBron that Sharon does. And this it took I don't want to call it growth. I don't know what it was, but I do believe that he should at least get a statue in the Lakers. Most definitely, and you may disagree, in Cleveland, but I do believe he should get a statue for the Lakers, and not because I think he's such a the great player, and not because I think he's the GOAT. And uh I just think that he's been key to some major things in LA that we might be overlooking, and they have very little to do with the stats. But there are some statistical things that I think put him in the I want to say statue range within his own personal career. I won't say he's like the best amongst all the great Lakers there are, but like when I look across his career, he has done a lot with the Lakers. Um, Obviously, we know about the bubble ring, and I know that's a controversy, and I know it's not good to say bubble ring, but I'm gonna call it the bubble ring. He got the Lakers a bubble ring.
The 2020 ring.
2020. The
That's
2020
what
ring,
I call
sorry.
it. I
The
try to
20
get away from the bubble controversy, but
I apologize. Let
we
me
all know when it was. It was in the bubble.
if we edit that, the 2020 ring that I referenced as the bubble ring. It's an
Right.
important, like, yeah, we fight every day on whether or not the circumstances of that championship match what the typical season has, and it didn't. It definitely didn't. It was a shortened season. There was some kind of like different kind of play in. Like certain teams didn't go in, certain teams did, and it was different. But in a time where the world needed an escape from something very traumatic, I think that he was significant in helping that. They won the championship in a year that was mostly about negativity and mostly about people dying. And basketball was the only thing that we had. Um, well, I mean, other sports were kind of playing, but if you remember, I feel like in that year, that was where um, Jordan's documentary came out, and everybody was glued to that. And then the bubble ring, there was something that we could escape from all the marches and things like that. And so, in that period, right, although we were watching basketball, he really did help the Lakers become America's team that year. And yeah, again, circumstances were different, but we really needed that. And I can't like dispute the fact that he helped uh the country, maybe even the world, because I know basketball fandom spreads past the US, in a time to escape from what we thought was a very dismal situation. So I'm going to have to give him that. And I know that maybe Anthony Davis was doing better than him in the bubble, so maybe he kind of stole that. But really and truly, we're gravitating to the Lakers, and we're gravitating to championship basketball not because of Anthony Davis. I know he's building his brand that way, but he isn't quite there yet. The eyes are really watching LeBron James. And speaking of which, right, I just have two more points. Um, he was impactful to the Lakers in another uh, tough time because, 2 years after he's there, Kobe Bryant passes away. And um, because he was there, I don't think LA got they were obviously Kobe's a legend and they were sad, but I don't think the emotions dropped as deep as it could without him being the cushion. If he wasn't there, I believe that it would have been a lot tougher for LA to bounce back. Because grieving is a thing that can happen forever, and people will still grieve over Kobe past this. And I'm not saying that LeBron was the pacifier to that, but it really helped become a cushion for the depths at which the basketball could have dropped for the Lakers. If he wasn't there, I don't believe there's anybody else in the league that could have helped that team bounce back to where it is today. And also I'm not saying they've bounced back fully to pre pre Kobe's death, but they actually, I think, avoided something more dismal. um with that said, it, I'll bring in one kind of like non-basketball thing, and I'll talk a little bit about his stats. I think that when LeBron got to the Lakers in 2018, they were valued at like 3.9 billion, and up and I think at this time, or maybe 2 years from now, they're at 5 point something. I think I have the exact number written down somewhere. There, yeah, 5.9. When he got there, they were 3.3. When he and As of 2023, they're 5.9. We have to think that he was a part of that. We have to acknowledge that he was able to help. And I'm not saying like he was the end all for all the team. Like there's some great players, but really and truly the valuation increased, maybe because inflation. We can add inflation in there, but a lot of people are following his value, like he's a walking like value. So and I assume if he leaves or retires, that might dip. Yet to tell, but I'm assuming when he leaves, the valuation might dip a little. So I would give him that. If we talk about the teams that he's played in, LA is ranked second amongst all his performance points in aggregate. I think that like even Miami, and he's won more rings in Miami. How much did he win in Miami? I think it
Two.
was two. Like
Two.
two. Yeah, he
Mm-hmm.
won 2 rings in Miami, 1 ring in LA. Yeah, his points, he's it's second, right? He had maybe about how many points he had in Cleveland? 23,000 for the Lakers as of October of last year of no, October of this year. It's 10,000 points. And Cleveland he had about sorry, Miami he had about a 7,000. So he's it's second, right? Yeah, he had more rings in Miami, and maybe he does have a need a statue in Miami. I doubt it. That they'll give it to him. But like uh Cleveland, yes, Lakers, yeah, but it's not for statistics and points. So that's my case for him getting the statue. Maybe what I mentioned was not isn't going to be remembered 5 years from now. Maybe the pandemic becomes a distant memory. Maybe as the generations go by, the younger kids will know less and less of Kobe and less about the feeling about when he died, and can equate what I'm saying to how I think he kind of preserved a lot. But that's my that's my case, weak or not. If you think it's weak or not.
Can you repeat one little small part for me? Just
Okay.
one part.
Which part?
The bubble part. The what he did for basketball or for the country or whatever you were saying during the bubble.
Yeah, well,
I need you to confirm or clarify what you're saying that he did. Just need to know.
I mean, we're I think he made the Lakers America's team during the bubble. And it comes from his brand. Like, we're watching to see what he can do. And I have to give him credit for that. It was a time when we were looking and searching for something to watch, or something to take us away from the heartbreak that the pandemic was causing, and he was significant in that. And because he came out on top with the championship, he may not have been the. I mean, listen, Anthony Davis played his tail off, but you know, I think we needed a hero, and we got it. I'm not. And you will never hear me say that again. I don't think he is. I'm not Team LeBron, but I have to
Yeah, I know.
acknowledge.
I got you. I
It
just
was
wanted to make
fun.
sure. I just wanted you to clarify in case anybody else was a little foggy on that, like I was. So thank you for clarifying that
You
for
can
me.
dispute it though, because
Well,
I remember it a little bit different. So you could, you know,
no, I'm not gonna. I'm going to push back a little on that,
go
but
ahead.
I'm going to maintain my Zen presence today while I do so. That's why our pre-show talks are so important to me,
Right.
Tricia. I can vent and let it all out
You are now calm, collected.
backstage,
Yeah.
and now for the people, for the people, I
Mm.
can be nice and calm and articulate my position. So here's how I'm going to start it. I'm going to go in order. I'm going
So,
to start with Cleveland. Cleveland is in my home state of Ohio. He's from Akron. Akron claims Cleveland as hometown. In Cleveland, Akron, Canton, it's all right there
mhm.
together. So, yes, he's from that area. That's his home base. When he left Cleveland, there was controversy when he left. People burned his jersey in effigy and all kind of stuff. Um, Hated LeBron. Social media blew up, destroying him when he left. Not only because of the decision, but the fact that he just decided to leave and then go to Miami, of all godforsaken places. He went to Miami where the great Pat Riley is. And that's unconscionable to us good old Midwestern folks. You went to the slick Pat Riley, who came from slick LA to slick Miami. Well, LA to New York to Miami. And now you're going to go down there. You left this good old Midwestern town for down there. Oh, how dare you. So people were mad. When he decided to come back, I don't know if people noticed, people were very happy in Cleveland, but not to the same degree that they were pissed when he left.
Mm.
It wasn't the same.
Right.
When he got drafted, Cleveland was beside itself, okay, with joy. He left, they were extremely mad. He came back, they were happy.
Right.
They weren't overwhelmed with joy, they were happy.
Right.
And then people are going to argue and say that's not true, Sharon, because they sold out every game and they did this and that. Say what you want. I'm talking about the mood and the feeling that I witnessed.
Right.
watching interview after interview, game after game, where reporters interview fans, their whole collective expression about him coming back. Most of them were happy, yes, but it was nowhere near like when he was there the first time. And
Mm.
they knew he was a better player. Oh, he's gonna bring us a championship. He's gonna bring us finally. Cleveland's gonna get 50 some years we've been waiting. We ain't had a championship in nothing.
Right.
Please bring it back. So he did that. Y'all remember Cleveland, this is for you, and all that in the camera. Y'all remember that. And I mean, Cleveland was electric. Then what happened? He got his ass whipped a couple times by the Golden State Warriors after that. And he was like, I'm out. Didn't want to be there anymore. Why? Now, I remember Tricia, before he decided to make that move in 2018, we were doing our show Out of Your League.
Yeah.
And you were talking about, you all were trying to convince me that he was going to LA. And I kept saying no. The reason why I kept saying no is because I strongly did not want him to, right? So any indicator that you would find that's saying he's going, I would say, hell no, he's not. Because I thought if I could keep saying he's not, that I would bring that into existence and he would not go. Okay? Didn't work.
Mm.
And you were talking about him wanting to do the whole LA production thing and movies and all that. And he was looking for houses, and then he looked for school for the children out in LA. And you were like,
no, he's not.
I was like, no, maybe he's going to the Clippers. He's going to Clippers. That's where he needs to go. He's Clipper-like anyway. Let him go to Clippers. No, he's going to the Lakers. If he goes anywhere in LA, he's got to go to the Lakers, Sharon. He's not going to downgrade and go to the Clippers. I understand. And he went. So this last time when he went to the Lakers, Cleveland's pretty much like, even when he comes back to Cleveland, they're not as excited as they used to be. Like when he was in Miami, anytime he came back to Cleveland, they would boo him at first, but then he would get love at the end. Then after Dan Snyder apologized to him, the tide turned and they welcomed him back or whatever. But when he went to LA, they were just like, okay, you just really not loyal. Yeah, you brought us a chip, but then you bouncing for the second time. You're leaving us high and dry again for a flashy LA. First it was flashy Miami. Now it's flashy LA. They don't like it. Midwestern folks don't like that. We don't like that. Okay. So I'm looking at this whole relationship with Cleveland, and yes, they got a chip. The economy. You want to talk about the value of LA. The economy of Cleveland rose and fell with LeBron's absence from that team. It's I've never seen anything this impactful with any one player ever. I've just never seen it.
Right.
Not to this degree. Not to this degree. And it's amazing. And I'm not really sure that everybody is still in love with LeBron. That moment that they won that championship in 2016, I don't think they still have that feeling.
Right.
That feeling. I just don't think that they still have that. So was it 2016 or 15? One of the two. And I don't think they still have that feeling. That being said, I'm going to answer two different questions. Do I believe they will give him a statue? Yes, I do. I believe they would be crazy not to give him a statue in Cleveland because of what that championship meant to that city and still does. People still wearing his jersey. The diehards, they're still wearing it.
Right.
Then the economic impact, all of that put Cleveland on the map. Nobody's been checking for Cleveland since he left. Nobody in anything, really. Not even Donovan Mitchell could bring back any checking for that city. So, no. Yes, I believe that they will give him one, and they should in that regard.
Right.
But the other question is, if they don't, is that a good thing, a wise thing, or would you be surprised? I would not be surprised if they did not. And yes, I can feel that way at the same time.
Okay. I'll
Um,
be, I'll be surprised if they didn't.
yeah, we know about the jerseys, Brandon.
Yeah.
All they're going to retire his jersey in Cleveland for sure, and in Miami they'll probably do this. Well, actually, oh, that's right, he wore 6. They might. No, they might. I'm not sure if they're going to retire his 6 jersey in Miami because they definitely not going to do 23 because he didn't wear it down there. And plus,
I
nobody can wear 23 in Miami. They retired that number forever from Miami just because of Jordan, who didn't even play for them. But that's a whole nother story. I would not be surprised, and I would not blame them if they did not give him a statue in Cleveland, because I can understand how petty and hurt they are. I can see and understand the petty at that point. Because I mean, he literally took the economy with him when he left. Twice. Not once, twice. You know, that's a true testament of disloyalty. And I can see the people rising up saying, don't give him one. I don't think that's likely. I can see it happening. I don't think it's likely. I also don't think it would be smart if the Cavaliers did not give him a statue. I don't think that would be smart. Okay. I believe that they really need to give him a statue. And they need to open up. I'm going to tell you what they need to do. They need to do a statue. They need to open up a LeBron James museum about his life, his basketball career. It should be in Cleveland or in Akron, either place. But it should be massive, and it should detail every second of his career, all the way from middle school, not just NBA. Go all the way back. As I will say, I will never forget seeing this kid play basketball at UD Arena back in whatever year that was, and looking at this dude looking like a grown man playing basketball. I will never forget seeing it. And I was like, this dude is going to be bad when he gets to the NBA. This is just unreal. And anyway, it is what it is, but that's what I believe about Cleveland. Miami. Let's get to Miami. I'm going to make this quicker. Pat Riley, Miami Heat. Pat is still there. No statue. End of story.
Hell no. He's not going to let that happen over his dead body.
There will be, you would have to kill him first. There will be no statue in Miami for LeBron James' Miami Heat career. It will not be. He will probably put it in his demand, in his will. If you give him a statue, then you got to pay my family $20 million. He will probably do something like that. I'm telling you, there will be no statue in Miami for LeBron.
Listen,
unless this man develops Alzheimer's all of a sudden, and he just has a brain, whatever, and decides to change his mind. That's the only way that would happen.
Not even over Pat Riley's dead body will he allow LeBron to get a statue in Miami. And if they decide to erect a statue of LeBron in Miami while he's passed away, you will see the second coming of Thriller. He will come out of his grave. Right down whatever street in Miami-Dade County and tear that joint down.
Wade County. Wade County.
Right, Wade County. He will do whatever he will tear down that statue on his own and crawl right back into the grave. He will not have that happen.
What's up, Donovan, in the comments? Hey, Donovan. Yeah, I'm just saying it's not happening in Miami. Do I think he deserves it in Miami? No. That's just me. He did not bring the championships to Miami like the narrative wants to be. It was much more to it than that, much more nuanced. Right. This was not a matter of him bringing the talent because there was none. I don't want to hear about what their record was the previous 2 years before he got there. I don't want to hear about any of that. I don't care. I know what I'm talking about. Miami's my second favorite team. And I have followed this team since way back prior to Alonzo Mourning. So don't just leave me alone. But yeah, argue, like I said, argue with that same drunk uncle you can argue something else with. Not me. Because it's not happening. But anyway, not in Miami. Let's move on to my favorite place, LA. The LA Lakers, home of Wilt Chamberlain. I know Wilt played at another team too, but Wilt Chamberlain, Elgin Baylor, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Magic Johnson, Kobe Bryant. Let's even say Pau Gasol. And let's even say Derek Fisher, even though Derek is not a Hall of Famer and will not get a statue or a jersey retired. Let's just say I'm leaving. Oh, Jerry West, the logo. You got Shaquille O'Neal. You got all these Laker greats with statues. Some, most of them with statues. And you think that this dude came and brought a championship one time after decimating the team of any young future talent. And he wasn't even the best player in the championship and was just handed the MVP just because of who he is and what he is in the league, not because he earned it. And you think that LA, Kobe Bryant's LA, Magic Johnson's LA is just going to agree with a statue? The problem with my argument is that the people don't decide. It's Jeannie Buss and the NBA. NBA has input, but Jeannie Buss owns the team, and the buck stops with her. She makes the final. The owner, I'm not calling them no damn governors. Bullshit. She's the owner of the Lakers. She owns that team, and she has the final say on if a statue is erected at that arena for anyone. The way she's been snowed to do anything and everything that she can to make LeBron happy, and reflecting back to Savannah standing on that stage talking about he the GOAT, and how she keeps talking, how Jeannie keeps talking about LeBron like she even named him one of the top 5 greatest Lakers of all time, which is bullshit too. She gonna do it. She's gonna do it. I believe she's gonna do it. But if you ask me, does he deserve a statue? Hell to the double L, no. He does not deserve it. He does not. People say, well, he was playing with he did in the Lakers uniform when he broke Kareem's record. I don't give a damn. We all know how he broke that record. Anybody who's not just enamored with LeBron knows how he broke the record. It wasn't just sheer greatness that he broke that record. And everybody knows it. They don't want to acknowledge it. I'm not even going to talk about it, but we know this. We know this to be true, how he really was able to break that record. It wasn't just sheer sharpshooting, because he ain't a shooter. He ain't even that big of a scorer, even though he has the most points in his 22-year career. Yeah. All right. So anyway, no, he does not deserve a statue in LA. And I tell you, I'm going to write the most scathing article I can if they give him a statue.
You are so right about Jeannie. I just wanted to read some of the comments here. Maurice Samuels,
That's Donovan, my Donovan.
Donovan. Donovan says, regarding giving a statue to LeBron, they will in LA and Cleveland. Jeannie is too soft and she might retire Bronny's jersey as well.
Let's retire it before he even plays a game. Let's do that.
That they're gonna retire before he even plays a single game. He'll be like, you know
Right.
what, Bronny, you haven't even managed to average double digits, but we're gonna put your jersey in the rafters as well, you know? Um, yeah, Jeannie might do it. So listen, Donovan, we're gonna talk about that after because I be on the back channels trying to ask people like what they really think. So we gonna talk about that later.
Lord have
Let's not
mercy.
let's not do this in the air. But I'm gonna hit you up in the
Oh, we
messages.
gonna mention it before we get off the air today. Because I
Okay.
got one thing, I got one thing to say about it. But go ahead.
Okay.
Oh, but anyway, look, that's my final take on it. He will get a statue. I won't be surprised because of Jeannie, but he definitely does not deserve a statue in LA. He's not one of the top five greatest Lakers of all time. He is not. We have too many greats for that. He can't even hold a candle to Elgin Baylor. I don't give a damn how many titles he has. I
So
don't care how many points he has. He cannot.
Sharon, um I think that everything you said is right. As in I'm glad you talked about all the greats because some of us are maybe too young to know all the greats, and you did a very good job in like bringing perspective. And I just want to repeat some of the Lakers that have statues right now. Obviously I think Kobe's was unveiled in August, right?
The second
Uh,
one.
The second one.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Shaquille O'Neal, Jerry West,
Mm-hmm.
Elgin Baylor all have statues. And
Mm-hmm.
so we're saying, or really asking, does LeBron's career sit amongst those greats that already have the statue?
His LA career,
His LA,
his Lakers career. See,
just
those statues
LA,
are not given just because of your whole career. It's what you did for that team. That's why Shaq has one, even though he was on four other teams.
right, right. I mean, I think he's on pace, girl. I know it's gonna disappoint you, and I'm gonna be there for you when you want to throw that fit. You just call me, and you can unleash
Girls,
because I
listen,
know
you're gonna have to come out of Brooklyn. You're gonna have to come down
I
here.
I
You're
will
gonna have
make
to
a
catch a
trip out
flight.
there. I'll be like,
And
listen,
I'm gonna need you to come here, and we're gonna have to drink some bourbon and do some
right,
other stuff
right.
because this is terrible to
I'm a
me.
I got
It's
your
gonna
back.
be a travesty to me. It's terrible. I can't begin to tell you how mad I was when she put him on that top five Lakers of all time list, and she didn't put Shaq on there. That bothered me. I mean, bothered me. That to me was a slap in the face to Shaq, and Shaq should have been pissed. He had every right to be pissed.
Oh, sorry, bring me back to that though. Like, what was the repercussions of that? What were there any um was there any outrage besides your
Yeah.
own?
Oh yeah, it was outrage amongst
Mm,
the fans, even the
right,
LA fans.
right.
I mean, all across social media, people were like, "How in the hell do you put him on there with just a bubble ring, and Shaq got a three-peat?" You see what I'm saying? That's the one thing you can say. You can just say that. You don't even have to talk about his scoring title. You don't have to talk about his MVP. You ain't even got to talk about that.
I think it's money
Just just
talks.
just simply three chips is all you got to say, and three MVPs, three finals MVPs while he was there.
At some point we'll have to talk about, and I don't know if everyone would be interested, but right now basketball isn't just basketball. Maybe basketball was more about basketball when Shaq played and got those rings. But right now it's about the money. And I think that coming from a millionaire, billionaire, I don't know Jeannie's pockets, but like if you again look at the financial impact that LeBron made and compare
Oh
it
no
to
no no
Shaq,
no no
all time in her bank account, more commas in the bank account,
no no no
and
no 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 no. Tricia, I gotta stop you That's the one. I'm glad you said that because that's the one part that I meant to push back on that I didn't get to. When you were talking about the value since he's been there since 2018, those numbers are very real. It has happened. It is true. He's to be applauded because he single handedly has brought all that money since 2018, if you want to say so. Okay, we'll say that. It does not amount to the amount of growth that they experienced in the Kobe Shaq era. Hell to the no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
I gotta look it up. I don't have
They
those
built
numbers.
that damn stadium, girl. The Staples Center. They built that shit. That's a house. They built it.
I'm gonna
I'm
have
just
to look
letting
it
you
up.
know.
I'm gonna have to look it up. I cannot
Just letting
dispute
you
what you're saying, but
listen.
it's a
Listen.
valid point.
Nah,
It's a
let
valid
me let
point.
me let me help you. I don't even care. Let's just say that he grew the value by 15%, and the Shaq Kobe era grew it by 13%. You're gonna say, "Oh, well, it wasn't it wasn't as impactful." Yes, it was because of the time we're talking about. Dr. Bus was thinking about selling the freaking team.
Mm.
He was thinking about selling the team. See, when Magic came, he had just got the team. When Shaq and Kobe came, he was thinking about selling the team, getting from out from under it. There's a reason for that, right?
Right.
There's a reason for that. Things were not doing very well in the NBA, and especially even for them. And
Well,
so they kept them relevant. They brought all the eyes. They had the number one selling jerseys. They did all of that. Those two players, Shaq is included in that. And then when Shaq left, Kobe carried it to the end. But I'm just saying, you can, if you want to measure impact financially, they saved the damn team. They also brought more economic uplift to the whole city of Los Angeles.
I believe you. You know,
Building that stadium, creating all those jobs that's there now were already there before LeBron got there. He didn't do that.
what we can
He just
agree
sold
is
more
that
tickets. I'm not taking away from that, but that's the only financial impact he has had: jersey sales and tickets. That's it. He has
so.
not impacted the city of Los Angeles the way those two other players have. No way,
I just
financially or otherwise. No.
I wanna just bring in a little bit of numbers. I do believe that you're correct in the impact. And I'm just going to talk about some numbers right now that I mean the numbers different because of the years. So let's not say, and this is a note to the LeBron fans watching because they might be like, and it's no, you have
Yeah.
to put things in
Yep.
context.
Because this is his sixth season there.
But we're going to talk about franchise value growth. Uh-oh.
Mhm.
Let me get my nerd glasses. Do I have my calculator?
Oh Lord.
Franchise value growth. The
Mhm.
Kobe Shaq era, which is 1996 to 2004, versus the LeBron era, which is 2018 to present, right? So in
Mhm.
1996, the beginning of the Kobe Shaq era, the Lakers were valued around 200 to 300 million,
Mhm.
right? Remember, like let's start, remember the years 200 to 300 million. By 2004, Sharon's right. It's a lot of impact. The value doubled. They were worth $500 million, right? And it doubled because of the championships that Sharon mentioned, sold out games, increased ticket prices, TV ratings, and international expansion. Now
Mhm.
let's talk about the LeBron era, which is 2018 to present, right? When he came to the Lakers, they were valued at 3.3 billion, right?
Mhm.
By 2024, this year, approximately 5.9. billion, right? Making the Lakers right now one of the most valuable teams in sports franchise history, right?
Mhm.
So in just 6 years, right, he's helped, not only him, helped grow the value of the Lakers by 2.6 billion, right? So it's not, again, it's just not just him, right? It's the broader influence of the NBA. NBA's has grown globally some more since 2004. They have media deals, they have global sales deals, all this other big social media, right? To 1996 to 2004, Facebook was only but a baby giraffe with shaky legs, and there was no IG, and there was no TikTok. YouTube was there, but like not
Nobody
YouTube.
was nobody was checking for YouTube.
Right, right.
Mm-mm.
So there's a lot of difference between the two eras, but they both contributed significantly to the value of the Lakers and making it one
Mhm.
of the most highest valued franchises in sports history. So
Now wait a minute. 2004, you said it by 2004 it had grown to 500 and something million?
500 million, it doubled. So
Right.
in 96 it was 200 to 300, so let's call it
500 and something.
250.
Okay, but when LeBron got there in 2018, what was it valued at?
It was valued at 3.3 billion.
So it went from 500 million to 3.3 billion before he even got there.
Right.
Okay. Just all I just want to
Listen,
bring that out.
listen,
Before
I just
he stepped foot in LA, they had grown from 500 million to 3 billion
Sharon,
before he got there.
Sharon,
I just want to make that clear. And you
Sharon.
got to remember too, 2018 was 2 years past Kobe's retirement because he retired in 2016.
So yes, Kobe had a lot to do with it. A lot of TV deals, to still the trajectory of the growth of sales. I know this is kind of making some of y'all gloss over, but we had to look at these numbers just to be
Oh yeah,
accurate.
just to be accurate, and it spells out what I said. But anyway, thank
So
you for
wait.
thank,
But anyway, we got to summarize. I
well,
know it
thank
hurts.
you for first. Let me thank you for bringing the stats because
Yes,
you know how people are in 2MW with them stats.
right.
But you know what I always say: stats don't ever tell the full
It
story,
doesn't tell the
ever.
full story,
But
and
go ahead.
neither do the numbers. But let me
No.
just give this
Mm-mm.
summary because I
Mhm.
don't want there to be any confusion. They both contributed to the financial value of this great Lakers team. I said great,
When you
and you
say both, you mean Shaq
Shaq
and
and Kobe
LeBron. Shaq
and
and LeBron.
LeBron.
Shaq and
Right.
LeBron, because this is a Shaq versus LeBron argument.
Well, I know it's a Shaq versus LeBron. I know it started as Shaq, but I can't disengage Kobe. I feel
Well,
like Kobe was
I'm not
the
saying disengaged, but in terms of the list, because this whole conversation is about the top 5 most important Lakers of all time.
yeah, but
That's
both
what we're
Kobe and
talking
Shaq
about.
have a statue,
And
right?
they put LeBron on there and didn't put she put LeBron on there and didn't put Shaq on there. That I just find that to be appalling. I just do. That's where all this
But,
started. But
but
go ahead with the summary.
here's the wording that I want to give that kind of backs up what I just said, right? Genie's a billionaire, millionaire, billionaire, and
Billionaire.
money talks for her. So, and recency, right? Recency is also something you cannot deny. She has to kind of cater and pander to the current player that's bringing in her revenue.
I
So
agree.
she's gonna
I
say it,
agree.
but
Oh, I agree.
the money is talking for her.
I agree. I agree. That's what she did. I believe that's the only reason why she said that is to pamper his ego,
Right.
to
So
make
in
him happy. Like she said, I will do anything to make LeBron happy. That's my number one priority. That came out of her own mouth. That's what she said. So,
right. So let's just summarize this numbers debate, and then I know you wanna do a wrap up, but in value, in money, right? The LeBron era, I know this hurts. The LeBron era has seen far greater growth than
mhm.
the Shaq and Kobe 1996
It's
2004,
going to.
right?
It's
We're
got
gonna see
to.
that, and it's because of the globalization of the NBA, not
Exactly. It
just
has
not
nothing to do
just
with him.
LeBron.
It's not him.
No, no,
It's
don't
the
don't say nothing.
globalization.
Don't say nothing. It has something to do with LeBron.
No, I didn't say okay. It has something to do with him, but it's not solely because of him.
Right,
It's
right,
because of the trend of the game anyway. It's because of what Adam Silver is doing internationally.
right,
We've
and
never
it's
had
because
this many international games before ever.
because of social media, we can see player driven like narratives, story, and stories are big
Mhm.
in locking us in to absorbing content, right? But let's not dismiss the Shaq and Kobe era and the value, because they did lead to the Lakers becoming a powerhouse. They did create the financial ecosystem, or help with the financial ecosystem surrounding the NBA, and helped the growth, or helped set the foundation for the growth and that it has today. So they both are impactful in two different financial ways. Shaq and Kobe were the beginnings, early beginnings and groundwork of the financial growth. LeBron is this new era involving social media and all the new TV deals that resulted from the groundwork that Kobe, Shaq, and other legends all over the NBA laid. So they both financially had strong impacts. Just wanted to lay that out, and
You
hopefully,
finished? Are you
yeah, I'm
finished
done.
now?
I'm
Are you
done.
finished laying it
I'm
out?
done.
I mean, I don't know how many ways you're gonna keep saying he brought money. We all get that,
But that's why
but
Jeannie left him. That's why Jeannie.
I didn't dispute that. Not once did you hear me dispute that, Tricia. You keep driving home a point that I'm agreeing on.
Okay.
I agree. That's why she did it. We all know this, but I still think it was wrong. I think it was wrong of her to put that ahead of what's real. And what's real, he is not the top 5 most important Laker of all time. He's not. Not to the organization and the fans. Maybe to her pocketbook, but not to the fans.
I
That's
think
just it. Not to the fans. That's what I'm a fan. I ain't Jeannie. I don't have her purse. Wish I did. Wish
the
I had half her purse.
the
Okay. Just
fans
give me
love
half.
LeBron.
The fans don't
Sharon,
love LeBron.
Sharon, the fans love
No, they
LeBron.
don't. Not the no. The real Laker fans do not love LeBron. The LeBron fans love LeBron, not the Laker fans. And they're two different groups. Then you well, actually, there's three. There's a group that loves the Lakers, but they're not fanatical and they don't really care who's there and what they do as long as we win. They don't care about the narratives, they don't care about any of that other stuff. That's a small group. Then you got the rabid Laker fans like me. Yes, we want to win, but we care about the franchise. We care about the legacy, their image, their reputation, the health of the organization, all of it, including the money, not just the money, not just the banner. Then you got the people who are LeBron fans. They don't care where he goes, what team he's on, what jersey he has on. He's going to be their focus. And you better not say anything negative about him or they will come for you worse than the damn beehive. They are worse than Beyonce fans. It is annoying, right? To think that he is just perfection and never makes a mistake is just disgusting to me. And I'm like, it's delusional and unreal. So those are the factions that you have. And the real Laker fans do not agree with Jeannie. It was it was all over social media. People blew up about it. And that's when you first started hearing people say, I just can't wait till this dude leaves. Can he just retire? Can he or just go back to Cleveland? That's when the narrative really blew up across social media. The call for him to leave the Lakers or retire or something. I'm
Mhm.
just so sick and tired of this dude.
You got 4 more
That's what
years
people
ahead.
are saying. It's not. Don't blame me. I'm just telling you what they're saying. This is what I read.
You
You know,
got 4 more years
I'm in
ahead.
no fewer than 7 Lakers groups alone, let alone the other sports groups I'm in, and I see it.
You got 4 more years of him because Bronny got a 4-year deal. So
Listen,
Got a whole 4 years.
let me tell
Not
you
going
something.
nowhere.
I am weary. I've told you this last season. I am weary. I am a weary Laker fan. I'm so sick of this dude. I don't know what to do. And I used to love LeBron, but I can't take the antics. The antics are just too much. Just too much. But anyway, want to push back on another thing you said about this though. I almost forgot. You were talking about in 2020 in the bubble that LeBron helped make the Lakers America's team because of his presence at a time when America was going through the pandemic and they needed a reason to watch and they needed this and they needed bullshit. No. Let me remind you of what you're forgetting. You got to remember the time. This was also heavy George Floyd Black Lives Matter time.
Mm-hmm.
America was pissed at LeBron because of this whole being woke shit, is what they called it. They were pissed at the NBA because they came out with messages on their shirt like Black Lives Matter and don't race, don't something about race something. I can't remember what it said.
Sorry,
But
can you repeat
when
that part? Can you repeat that part? They were pissed at the NBA.
the
You said
Americans, you
mm-hmm.
see me doing my air quotes.
Yeah.
Americans were pissed at Adam Silver in the NBA because they put Black Lives Matter on the floors of the games. They collectively all decided to protest wearing these shirts. They knelt down during the anthems at their games. And LeBron largely spoke out because remember all the backlash that Jordan got because he never spoke out. That whole narrative came back because LeBron was speaking out. Oh, look at him. He's speaking out. He's standing up for the people. And America didn't like putting the politics in their sports. And they stopped watching. And all over internet. That's why I don't even watch that shit. I'm not watching it. They want to politicize everything. They woke. They this. That's what was going on at the time. So no, he did not help make LA America's team because it wasn't America's team. It
Well,
was not.
okay.
People were
I agree.
using that team as the symbol of who to hate in the NBA because LeBron was on it and speaking out. That's
I,
what
I
happened.
I agree with you. And maybe I should have clarified. I don't mean like America. I didn't mean like America as like everyone in the U.S. I really meant basketball sports fans that just miss sports because it was paused because of COVID. So I misspoke there. I didn't mean America. I meant like
Okay, I'll give you that.
basketball fans.
I,
Sorry about
I'll
that.
give you. I'll
No, you're
give
right.
you that.
You're right about that
I
part. I
will
just
give you that. I will give you that. But
that's
that
what
still
I
don't have damn thing to do with putting a statue in LA for him. Sorry.
I mean, yeah,
Sorry.
I cannot dispute anything you've said.
Mm-mm.
I'm
No,
I'm I'm just trying to be
no statue. No
a,
bueno.
someone
No
of growth
bueno.
and
No, no bueno. No.
okay, no statue.
I will be so pissed if she gives that fool a statue. I really will. I
She's
don't
gonna
even want her retiring his jersey. I don't think he deserves that. So BJ asked, can he get a mural instead of a statue? Yeah, you can do a mural on the wall.
he
Go
is
ahead.
listen, they will
Put
name
a
a
mural up. I don't care about that. But statue in a jersey? No.
let me tell you something. They're gonna rename a street after him, a highway even. Like he's gonna
In
get
LA?
yes.
Stupid.
Yes, he will.
That's
And
Cocaine City though, so it don't surprise me.
they're gonna do the
They all
most.
high.
You just have to prepare for it, friend.
No,
Like
I'm
you
don't. No, Trisha. I ain't gotta prepare for that. When it happens, I'm gonna be right on here with you saying how idiotic that is. Because it doesn't make any sense. He doesn't deserve that. It's part of the hype machine, the clutch sports hype machine.
yeah.
That works very well. I'll give it to them. They're excellent at marketing and controlling narratives. but that still don't make him the greatest, and it damn sure don't make him the most important Laker. And it does not warrant a statue to me. Not to me.
Hmm.
No way. We moving on. Put your thoughts in the comments.
Hmm.
But let's move on to the W.
Okay,
WNBA
I just wanted to briefly,
and the what you call it, the rookie of the year
right,
decision in the
just
WNBA. Caitlin Clark won. She got all the votes except one. There was one vote for Angel Reese, and it just caused an explosion all over social media that I saw. People were
yeah.
actually ticked off because Angel got one vote.
Right. And I just want to say, whoever that one person was that voted for Angel Reese, like, I want to pat them on the back, and not in no petty way, but like, I don't believe that a lot of people are expressing themselves. When I talk about people, I mean media, are expressing themselves in the genuine, like, unbiased way anymore because of a fear, not because of their, and not because of their inept or an experience, but I think it's out of fear that they have not talked about what they truly feel. Because I would expect, even though hands down Caitlin Clark is the rookie of the year, there's no doubt about it.
Yep,
No
no
doubt
doubt.
about it. I gotta say it once, twice, thrice. There's no doubt about it that Caitlin Clark is the rookie of the year for the WNBA.
Mm-hmm.
Even so, I would expect that there'd be more votes for Angel Reese, not to win, but just like a few riders that be like, you know what? There's a thing, an inkling of something that we're overlooking that they truly believe makes her a rookie of the year. Consider it, but clearly, Caitlin Clark is the winner. The fact that we only saw one means that one person had the guts to trust that their identity will not be revealed.
Mm-hmm.
I've read stuff that, like, even Shannon Sharp was out, hasn't like has been has spoken up about it, saying it's something petty against Caitlin Clark, and it just truly hurts me to see things like that. Um, I do believe that Angel Reese would have gotten more votes, not to win, just some more, even if it was two or three or five or 10, right? But people are scared. And Caitlin Clark has been weaponized to scare people from expressing themselves. And it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate to see that. So whoever that person is, like, yo, thank you for kind of staying to your guns, and going with what you feel, and hopefully you're never found. Hopefully that no one comes and tries to ruin your life because they barely watch the WNBA but want to use Caitlin Clark as this weapon so that they can bring down, people that really like the WNBA, or black women, or black people in general. I don't think black men really realize what's happening. Well, no, let me take that back. Some do, but um, Shannon Sharp coming out and saying that, I think he's not really recognizing what's happening, and he hopefully one day will. But yeah, that's my point.
Well said. Well said, Trisha Joy. Um, I really, really appreciate you saying it in the way that you said it. I really do, because people need to hear it straight up, no chaser. And that's really what this is all about. Um, I don't think that I don't think that most black men understand why we collectively, black women, are upset with them when they make these statements that these other players are jealous of Caitlin Clark. That right there is very triggering for us, and it minimizes the self worth that we have for ourselves, number one, And it also elevates us to a place of pettiness that we are not even in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we've all done this. You're at a party, right? You laughing, drinking. What you drinking on, Tricia? I got bourbon. What you got? What you drinking?
I love me some tequila.
All right.
So
I tell you what, we doing tequila shots. Let's just say
okay,
we doing that.
okay.
Got my little salt, my lime. I can't drink tequila without my salt and lime. Gotta have me some salt and lime, right? So we're at a party. We're talking, laughing, joking. Everything is fun and games, and then somebody says something that hits somebody in the wrong way, right? And all of a sudden, all the laughter stops. That's
Yep.
how this is with this whole talk about Caitlin Clark. We're all cool about her coming. We excited. We excited for the viewership. We excited for the deals that's coming, the money that's coming. We're excited about all of that. But when you got to bring that one friend that says something triggering at the party, that's when all bets are off. And
Right.
this is what they're missing. It is not jealousy or anger at Caitlin. That's the first narrative, is jealousy. The second one, they're racist. They're mad because she's white and good. That's a slap in the face to Brianna Stewart, Sue Bird, Donna Inescu, Diana Taurasi, Elena Deladon, Kate Smith, Kate Smith. I think Kate Martin. I can't remember what her name was, but she's on the top 25 list of
All the other white ones
all
before.
time. I mean, Becky Hammond is on the top 25 list. They're all white girls.
Hmm.
You never saw anything like this before, where those stars that I just named brought such toxic fans to the game.
Mm-hmm.
That's never happened. So they can't say this is something that's the same. No, that didn't come with them.
Mm-hmm.
But when Caitlin came, not only did she bring a boatload of all this great stuff, but she also brought this part right here that has the opportunity to destroy all this good on the side.
Yeah.
That's the problem, and that's the part that they are in denial about and refuse to acknowledge. It's just like when you know that the reason why the teacher doesn't call on you is when you raise your hand is because you're black, and they call on all the white students, right? And then when you complain to the principal says, well, maybe they didn't see your hand, or maybe they thought you really didn't know, or maybe they knew this other person better with better answer. They come up with all this other smoke and mirror. They will not say, yes, that is racist. They won't say it. And that's what these people are doing. They're not willing to acknowledge it. And the lack of acknowledgement is another thing that drives victims of anything crazy. I mean, it's the whole reason why women are pissed off about the sexual assault thing, is because nobody believed them. Everybody wanted to say, it's your clothing. You were drunk. It was something else.
What if
it wasn't that this dude thought that he could take it without asking. That wasn't it. See what I'm saying? It's unnerving. And that's what has me so pissed off at these people. It has nothing to do with Caitlin. And I find myself having to explain and justify my point of view by saying, I'm a Midwestern girl. I love the Big Ten. I'm a pro Iowa person, even though my skin is black. I love the Iowa Hawkeyes. My mama went to Iowa for her internship thing. And I love Caitlin Clark's game. I think she's a bad chick. I don't care if she's white. I care that she can ball. Who gives a darn if she's white? And what does somebody respond to me? No, you're mad because she's white and she's good and she's better than all them black players. You're mad.
Well,
I just told you.
That person.
I just told you I'm not. I just told you how much I love this girl. Hold on, wait a minute.
Sharon,
wait a minute. I gotta get my zen back.
What if I
I just told this person how much I love her and gave them proof, and they still insist it's not happening.
Sharon,
I just
what if
can't
I
stand
told you they can't help it? So I'm gonna get just a little bit deep on this and maybe surprising the people because they think I'm all jokes. But what if I told you? Because I know that people hate like feeling like they're being bashed, and this may not even be any better, but they can't help it, and it's
it. I
due
know.
to conditioning. And
Yes,
there's two
I
different
said that
conditioning.
this morning to somebody.
No,
Yes,
but there's
you can't help yourself.
two different conditionings that they cannot, and so it doesn't even, it's not even worth fighting. Number one, when we talk about black males that side with Caitlin Clark and say to us, well, we don't like her because she's white. And no matter how much you say, it's not that we don't like her, we just think that there are other things to consider. They always look to go to the numbers. They're like, oh, look at the revenue, look at the things, look, she's doing
Yep,
so much, fan
yep,
whatever.
yep.
That is their need to align with white males who run businesses, who are looking at the numbers, who have these
Mhm.
corporations. So if you can speak that language and you look at it in the way that they look at it, you kind of put yourself in the same plane, which is like an internal goal for men. They want to have financial success, and though it's white males that have most of the businesses and the corporations in this world. So if you look at it, if you try to dismiss everything else, even the black female experience, and say, look, the numbers say this, you're
Mhm.
in line with them, and that is an internal need for them,
Yes, glasses are crooked. Yes,
right?
you're right.
That is
Hmm.
a need for them, and being a provider, successful business person, they're all wrapped in line. That comes above everything. Even if we say we feel disrespected, no, 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 no. The
Hmm.
numbers,
The numbers say, yeah.
they can't help it. The
Hmm.
second thing that they can't help is something that I mentioned in when I was talking about the pandemic, which is we from a little kids, both boys, girls, all colors, all races, start out by being told stories. We're
Hmm.
like from babies, we have stories.
Hmm.
And we're told, and we're locked in when we see a story, and we see a good story right now.
Hmm.
The one thing you don't see in stories, maybe up until this day, maybe until recently, is a black woman being rescued. Most fairy tales, the white woman is rescued. And so when we say, oh my gosh, no, help us, it doesn't even compute.
No, we are not
No,
Rapunzel.
we got to save that one,
Yeah, we're not
that one, the
Rapunzel.
pretty
We are
one.
not Rapunzel. We're not Snow White, Cinderella. We're not any
None
of
of them.
them. Nope.
That's why you watching Netflix and everybody's, oh, Bridgerton, look at this. Everybody's enamored, like, oh, black people can be royal.
Yeah, we were. Hmm.
Can't help it. They're like, you don't like her because she's white. We gotta make sure you realize they gotta rescue her. She's not asking to be rescued, but
No.
because we're,
Mm-mm.
we're conditioned, the stories are conditioned like that. This is a good story, and they want to make sure that that person is rescued because we're the attackers. We're witches. We're the ones that are attacking, even though we're just commenting. So they really truly can't help this. And I don't know if it's worth even arguing anymore
Nope.
I think it's something we just got to take on the chin as usual,
Mm-hmm.
but don't
Like
waste your
everything
time.
else. Like everything else, we got to take
Yeah,
on the chin.
right. Don't waste your time. I congratulate like Caitlin Clark for not weaponizing herself. It might be her team, someone like making sure she's not, you know, but it's really on her part. I know she really probably wants to say a lot, but can't because either one base will be mad at her, the other one will be mad at her. It's kind of tough. So hopefully she can just continue focusing on basketball. As Black women, though, we have to kind of detach from this and not internalize it. I don't think there's any way we can change a bunch of people's minds.
No,
I think, yeah,
mm-mm.
I think
No,
we're
it's
just
not going to happen. They are set. They are dead set on
right.
the whole league. Listen, I even heard them say the league commissioner and the head of the players union, that both of them are against Caitlin Clark. They said the refs are against Caitlin Clark because she's white.
Nobody's against
They
Caitlin
said that
Clark.
all the black players in the WNBA and even the white ones are against Caitlin Clark because they're
Yeah,
jealous and because she's white. And I'm listening to this. I'm like, do you understand that the reigning MVP of the WNBA is white
I don't,
in Brianna Stewart? She's the reigning MVP.
it's deeper. It's deeper than
And
that.
I'm
Even
like,
look at your
she's a
comments. Look
she's
at your comments.
applauded.
Right? You see,
She's applauded, Tricia. Everybody loves Brianna Stewart. She's a white gay woman.
well,
And
that's the part
she
that
is
they don't have.
applauded by all of us. The girl can ball. She's like a freaking machine on the court. She's
She's
like
great.
Asia. She's like Asia and Brianna to me are the two best in the game. And
Right.
they are both like machines on the court. They're unflappable. They pay attention to the fundamentals and they can put in that work. They're outstanding. Brianna's white. Am I hating on her? No.
Nope. So listen, even you see right here a comment from Chuck Thomas. Y'all innocent. Any Diddy parties you attended?
Nope.
I bet y'all none of y'all in the comments, none of y'all Black dudes are gonna say nothing to him.
No,
Nothing.
they won't. But listen,
Nothing.
Tricia,
Right? And
you up.
I don't have to say nothing. I already said it.
I was gonna say
Right.
you up there in New York. Have you been to? Did you go to Diddy? No. Just because
No.
you lived in New York don't mean you went to a Diddy party. I don't
Yeah.
care about the dog. You know what? We should talk about that.
I
Somebody put in there. Donovan said he might not be there to see it if he's involved in the Diddy scandal. Talking about LeBron. Let me say something about this. I'm
right.
just a moment, just a hot second. The list of people, this big long list of people who had attended parties come out. That doesn't mean that they attended the freak offs, y'all. Y'all taking this information too
That's true.
far and just running with it. It's out of control and you're being idiots and you're looking foolish. Just because their name is on the list doesn't mean that they came to the freak offs. The freak offs were not consensual. The parties were. Everybody went to a Diddy party. The president probably went. I don't know. I don't know if he did. I'm just saying. Everybody went to a Diddy party. Who didn't? Nobody famous has not been to a Diddy party. Even what's his name? Even Denzel went to a Diddy party. He left early. He talked about it long before this scandal came out. He has said that. He knows what time to leave a party. So come on, y'all. Get off the damn list saying they're all in the scandal. No, they're not. They're just a look. They're just a list of people who have known to be attended anything that he had. Doesn't mean that they were involved in whatever. So chill with that. I get so sick of something gets dropped, some real news gets dropped, and people on the internet just run wild with it like it's factual. And
Yeah,
I'm just looking at this like, what are you talking about? How did you even get there from that?
I think that we should all kind of just sit back and wait.
I
Like,
think you need to take a breath and pump your
right,
brakes and chill and wait
right.
till this comes out, because they have a massive amount of evidence to go through and to
Hmm.
present. It's gonna be fascinating. It's
What
gonna
I
be fascinating to see.
what I want people to do is actually like, you know what? I mean, let me put because people should be free to think and free to come up to with their own conclusions, even if we all disagree. Um,
Hmm.
just don't make anything up. Like, don't put
That's what I'm talking about.
yeah, and Chuck Thomas is right. It's the sex trafficking is part of the charges
Right.
and
It's part of the
some,
freak offs and all
some
of that.
other
Yeah.
things.
That
Um,
right there is illegal. That shit is illegal. And if they were in that, then they deserve to be drugged through the mud. But just because they're on this list as an attendee to a party
right.
doesn't mean that they did all that.
Well, here's the one thing that a friend of mine, Tim, brought up yesterday because we had a very heated argument about this. Um,
You said
this,
Tim?
yeah,
Oh,
mhm,
really?
yeah.
Okay. Hey, Tim, if you're watching.
Uh, you know, the part that bothers him, and I think it's a great point, is not just even the Diddy part. Like, we all know Diddy did some stuff. We're trying to figure out what he did, but like the list, which you know, Chuck, I now what you see what you're talking about. The list is just an indicator that there are a lot of people that may have been in at some kind of party, like Sharon said, may not be a freak
Right.
off, might be a regular party because he had regular parties.
Sure
The
did.
part that is kind of nerve wracking that we need to wait and see is that if the sex trafficking charges are true, who saw it and didn't see any and say anything?
That's it.
I think that's the worst. That's worse. And
Mm-hmm.
even with the whole Cassie thing,
Mm-hmm.
there are people, I guess, that saw this, that she was getting beaten down and didn't say anything.
Didn't say a word.
And so
Didn't say
that
nothing.
part is the rough part because if if he's convicted, if what they say is true, a monster is a monster and a monster doesn't know. But some of y'all had sense.
Mm-hmm.
Some of y'all
Yeah.
had sense. And if you are not the monster, but you're invited to the party and you saw little
And
kids
said nothing.
and said nothing,
Did nothing.
you're actually a bigger monster.
You really are.
You went to sleep
You're
and you
worse because you saw
right,
it and did nothing and
right,
could have. You know, people want to say, well, what was I supposed to do? You're supposed to say something. You're
right,
supposed to say something. If to nobody else, you say something to her and say, girl, let's get out of here.
right,
Something. You don't just sit up there and know it and then, and now later on, after the charges are filed and he goes to jail, now everybody wants to go to do an interview and talk
right,
about what they saw happen in 1995, in 2003. I don't care. I
right,
don't want to hear from you now. When I hear from you, want you to be in court and I want you to be sentenced because you're complicit.
right,
And that's
right.
it.
And
That's
so
it. And
that's
you
what
know,
I'm looking for.
as a fan of all of them, I'm pissed. Let me tell you why I'm pissed. I don't follow gossip like celebrity gossip shows and
Mm,
magazines, and that's just never been my thing. I've never really wanted to know about their personal life, who they are as a professional, as an artist. That's all I care about. I don't want to know if they beat their wife or stabbed the husband, or I don't want to know if they stole money. I don't want to know about any of that because they're not in my family. They're not affecting my life. They're entertaining me. Okay. So I've just never been interested in gossip. So when all this started coming out recently about him and everybody wants to get on the social media and say, we've all known this. And I'm like, we didn't all know this. Don't include me in that because I didn't know that. I love me some Diddy. I've been a Bad Boy fan forever. I have loved that dude and I thought he was talented
that's funny.
forever. So
Yeah,
don't come tell me what I knew. I did not know. And so when people started coming out saying, Cassie filed his lawsuit. Oh, we all know. And then the next day he settled. And then I'm getting beat up in the comments because I said just because he settled doesn't mean he's guilty, because it doesn't. He's a famous person, and famous people settle lawsuits all the time, even if they're bogus. They do that to cut their losses, one, and cut the publicity. That's a PR
Right.
lesson number one. I'm in PR. I know this. This is where I'm coming from. I say all that, and they beat me up in the comments saying, oh, you're just a fan. You just like him because he's a fan, and you supporting him even though he hurt women. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Ooh, I
Right.
cussed. What the hell are you talking about? If anybody that knows me know I don't play about this womanhood thing. I do
Right.
not play. I do not play about the mistreatment of women. I'm very vocal about that, and I will come to the defense of anybody messing with a woman in any type of way. But what I also know is what Jay-Z said. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie, facts don't lie, is what I'm going to add to it. The facts don't lie.
Right.
But people lie on DICK all the time. I've seen it. And then these women come out later talking about, I'm sorry, I lied. Meanwhile, the man's life is ruined. That happens.
Yep.
It's real. So that's where I come from. I come from a place of seeing people falsely accused. I do not follow this stuff.
Right.
Girl, do you know I had somebody unfriend me on Facebook? Unfriend me on Facebook because I said just because he settled doesn't mean he's guilty. It's so fascinating. I didn't even realize that she had unfriended me until about 4 weeks ago.
It's
And I
really
looked and I was like, I wonder why I hadn't seen anything from her in a while. And I looked at my friend list and she was gone. And I was like, wow.
This is a really big case, and it's gonna shatter a bunch of friendships and a bunch of families because
But it
of
ain't like I'm in his life and knew about this, Tricia. I'm on the
right.
outside just like anybody else. I don't know.
It's almost like
I
politics though,
don't
right?
know.
It's
See,
almost like politics.
but when you're a person who follows gossip, who follows celebrity stories, then you would know. I
Right.
just told you I don't. So don't get mad at me. Not you, Tricia, but this person. Don't get on me because I didn't know. I didn't follow that.
Right.
I'm not stupid. I'm not dense. I'm not slow. And I'm not in denial. I just didn't follow that.
Right.
That's not my thing. I don't care about all that stuff. When the next song coming out? Because I want to hear some good music. And that's how I look at anything in entertainment. That's how it is. You're here to entertain me. I don't want to know what you did. Now, if you do something that's illegal, get locked up, pay your price. I don't care who you are.
Right.
It don't matter to me.
Listen. We shall wait and see.
Yeah, we're gonna wait and see. We're gonna wait and see. We're gonna wait and
The
see.
comment section is crazy.
He said, get ready. We're gonna hear LeBron say, I did not have sexual relations with that woman or that woman or that woman. You know what? Listen, I am not wishing that anything bad comes out about LeBron. But what I will say is it is amazing how squeaky clean his reputation is. It's just amazing. Don't you find that amazing? After 22 years, that his reputation is just crystal clear. He hasn't done anything ever to anybody that was remotely wrong in some people's eyes.
I mean, it's possible he's the chosen one. That means he might be I don't know, but there's some things that have come out about him, like DMing some IG
Oh,
models
that
and
that
things like that.
one little thing, and that just was a fly by night thing that came and went, and then people swept it on the road. Oh, that was no big deal. He ain't do all. It wasn't all that. That you like I said, he can't do no wrong. But then Steph Curry actually trying to live his life like he ain't doing nothing wrong, and people say, "Oh no, that ain't real." I know
Really?
he can't be that nice of a guy. He has to be doing something to the point where they had to create and fabricate a whole scenario around his wife that she was unhappy because she was worried about him cheating on her. They came up with, I mean, the weirdest shit
Mhm.
because he can't possibly be that good of a guy, but LeBron can. He's perfect. Boy,
You know,
you've seen the post, born of a single mama, didn't know his dad, went to high school, got good grades, got drafted, faced all the scrutiny. He still broke records, brought championship, did all this, married his high school sweetheart, had 3 kids. Look, you've seen it.
yeah,
You've seen the
they always
post that
say that the,
everybody loves to post about how just how just perfect he's been.
I mean,
You've seen it.
you come from a PR branding background, so you know what it takes to get to this point, and he's done it.
Smoke,
Like,
smoke and mirrors, honey. I know smoke and mirrors when I see it. I know gaslighting. I know narrative. And like Stephen A. Smith said, LeBron is the best at controlling the narrative, better than anybody he's ever seen. And that's
yeah,
true.
yeah.
Him and Clutch, brilliant. Brilliant.
So we're gonna see. I got some stuff to talk about with that, but I again, like you, I want to wait to see what happens, to see what I'm thinking is true, because this is a, if it's close to what I imagine, so many different people have to
They,
be.
girl, they going down. They shitting in their shoes right now. They really are. People are nervous. People are really nervous. They should be because the prosecutor, he ain't playing. I've seen about 3 interviews with this man. He
They
is
got to
not.
they,
He's not playing. Mm-mm. He is not playing with this.
Yeah, so TBD. Hopefully, none of our favorites are on the list, or none of our favorites are caught on tapes doing anything ridiculous. But, we just gotta wait and see. Just
Yeah,
Sharon's like,
wait and
yeah.
see. Yeah, I'm really almost afraid to know. I really am because
Right.
I feel like I'm gonna really be disappointed in some people who I admire. And it's I'm not sure if I'm ready to hear all that, especially with all this other stuff going on that's more important. I don't know if I'm really in the right frame of mind to hear all that crap yet.
Listen,
That's
I
all.
know I'm worried
That's
about a
all.
few of our heroes.
Well, let's end with this. I hadn't talked to you about this, but our beloved Brody, our beloved Russell Westbrook,
Yeah.
is now headed to Denver. What do you think about that move? What do you really think about it?
I I love it. I think that this team would I think he would thrive. He'll thrive on this team, but not thrive in like, hey, he's gonna drop 100 points per game. I feel like, we all have to admit that Russ is nearing the end of his career. What I don't like is how he's still portrayed. Now, let me start from the top and say, like, I'm not really sure if they're going to win a championship, but they're going to come pretty darn close. They have a solid team.
Mm-hmm.
If you have jokers on the team, they always have a chance. You know how highly I think of Jamal Murray, and last year he didn't end the season quite well, but he had a few injuries. This
Mm-hmm.
year, he, given hopefully he had some time to recover over the summer, and he's gonna he's gonna be able to perform a lot better. I'm not really sure if Russ is gonna start or come off the bench. Probably come off the bench, but they do need his presence. They traded away was it Reggie Jackson? Reggie Jackson, who used to be on Oklahoma City, uh,
Mhm.
and then went to Detroit. And so he has a role there, and he there is a gap that he can fill, and he has the mentality of a someone that's focused, and he's always had that will fit with that team. So I think it's a good move. The expectations of his performance, I think he'll be in line with either last season, or the season before with the Clippers, about 15, 16 points per game if he gets the minutes. If he has to alleviate like Jamal Murray or anybody else, he can play that role. So I'm excited to see him on a team that is a contender, that could possibly go to the NBA finals. Um, Grand scheme of things, it's going to be a tough West. They still have my original team, right? My still team, Oklahoma City, which was first
Mhm.
in the West last year. Uh,
Mhm.
the the Timberwolves went under some massive changes. I don't know if they're going to be still as strong, but they're still strong as long as Anthony Edwards is there. The Clippers lost Paul George, so I'm not really sure where they fall. The Phoenix Suns is always in disarray, so who knows? Um, so I think they do have a chance to maybe go to the Western Conference Finals if things go well. So yeah, optimistic,
Well,
realistic.
they won't make it to the Western Conference Finals because the Lakers are going to the Western Conference Finals. The Lakers are going to go because
Forgot, forgot.
LeBron in his 22nd year is going to just drag the whole team to the Western Conference Finals, according to my so-called bandmates. That's what's going to happen. He's going to single-handedly leap over tall buildings in a single bound,
Oh
and
my
he's going
god!
to drag my beloved Lakers into the Western Conference Finals.
Listen,
They're going to finally beat Denver in the semifinals to get to the finals. Yeah,
and then beat the Celtics or the
they're going
or
to beat the Sixers because the
the
76ers
Sixers.
is going to the finals.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
We gonna beat the Sixers in the finals. Yeah,
yeah.
that's what's gonna happen. Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
forgot. Listen, I love that take,
because
and
Minnesota did. They let Cat go. I still can't believe it. I still can't believe it.
I've seen a lot of like people online say they gave away the wrong center,
That's
right?
what they did. I agree. I feel like they gave away the wrong one. That's just how
Yeah,
I feel. I'm gonna keep feeling that way. We'll see.
yeah.
And I don't know, man.
We
New
could do a
York,
whole
New
nother.
York's not looking too bad right now.
They not. They
They're not
not.
looking
New
too
York
bad.
is looking like.
The Knicks are
Listen,
looking they looking like I just can't wait to see how they really start looking and see how those pieces are really going to fit together. I think OKC is still going to be a threat in the West, and I think people are sleeping on Philly. I really think that Philly's going to be something to deal with in the East. I really do.
I disagree with that, and maybe we can do another show on it. But I
Well,
think,
that's because they got Paul George, and
listen,
you're not high on Paul.
I
Mr.
know
PP
I'm
13 is
not.
not one of your favorite people.
I'm definitely not high on
Especially the
Paul
way that
George.
he left OKC, which
No,
was dead wrong.
I'm gonna have to just speak on this for just a second because I know I have ounces of petty in me. I am not high on Paul George at all. I don't think he should have left Oklahoma City. I don't think he should have went to the Clippers. And to be honest, I don't think he should have went to the Sixers. I think the Clippers should have traded Kawhi instead, but they decided to keep Kawhi. The
Tricia,
Clip,
that's why the Clippers are always gonna clip, honey. The Clippers
Right.
gonna be the Clippers forever. They never gonna run LA. That's a Laker town. They just might as well get used to it. They need to move. Maybe they need to move to Seattle. Maybe that's
They
where
don't-
they need to go. They ain't running LA.
so let me just the 76ers have an interesting year coming up because they have two very emotional players on their team that both need leadership. Embiid and Paul George. Paul George cannot play with the reason why they actually brought Russell Westbrook to Oklahoma to the Clippers is because Paul George has his best years under with sorry not under but with Russell Westbrook because he needs a motivator. It's why you see Embiid always begging for what's his name? Jimmy Butler.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because Jimmy Butler is going to yell at him. He needs someone that's going to put him in order.
Jimmy has his Jimmy is his mojo. It's like Jimmy can get him to do whatever more than anybody else can. Jimmy can. You're right.
Right, because listen, Jimmy, you know my position on Jimmy Butler, you know,
We're
but like
we're we're still the same on
right,
Jimmy. You and I
right.
have always had an agreement on what we think about him.
But there's certain people that cannot play unless somebody is willing to like emotionally uppercut you in the face. And Embiid is one of them, and Paul George is the other. Because Russell Westbrook don't play in that locker room. And he needed that. Embiid is begging for somebody that's gonna like just sit him down and just two-piece him real quick in the nose and say, get back in there and stop playing.
Stop whining. Go ahead and
Right?
be tough.
But you
Be
got two of
the
them on the
dog, man.
team.
Be the dog.
Two of them on the team. So who's the leader? Is it what Tyrese Maxey? Like that young, like
Tyrese
like
Maxey.
right? He the leader,
Tyrese Maxey is the youngest, but he is the leader of that team.
right?
You ask me.
Because who else? It's not you not coming in the huddle in a tight game tied up and listening to Embiid. You not coming in a huddle and listening to Paul George. He's not. So good luck, Tyrese Maxey.
Yeah.
Good luck, 76ers.
Yeah. Well,
y'all
the next time we are going to talk about three people.
Okay.
This is what I want us to talk about next time. And you can add a fourth if you like, or
Okay.
however many you want. But I want us to talk about three people. I want us to talk about Klay Thompson, or three subjects, I should say. I want us to talk about Klay Thompson. I want us to have an honest discussion about Klay Thompson and his move to Dallas. It's weird to me. It's like putting a round peg in a square hole. It's just weird to me. It's just
I
weird.
can be honest about that. I can be honest.
Not now, because it's a long conversation.
That's
a long conversation.
You know, I will come with my
I
case.
know it.
My case.
Number two, I want us to talk about. I really want us to have an honest discussion about Anthony Davis.
Okay.
And I want our focus to be on him. I don't want us to say a word about anybody. I want us to talk about him and his career.
Okay.
And the third person, we could talk about Jimmy, but let's not talk about Jimmy. Let's just talk about the Charlotte Hornets.
Okay.
The basketball team.
Okay.
Oh, and let's add his brother. Let's add Lonzo Ball coming back with Chicago.
All right, let's do that.
I'm excited to see that. I'm excited.
Week,
I hope he's okay. I really do.
Next week is Klay.
Your favorite subject. Klay, Anthony Davis, Charlotte Hornets, and Lonzo Ball.
Mm-hmm. All right, I'm excited. Thank everybody for joining us.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Tricia. Can you give a final word to our listeners today?
The final word for the day is, you know, like this the story I told when we first started the show, with my fascination about Steve Kerr. I want everybody to go through the week knowing that you are valuable, no matter how small of a role you play, no matter how little you think you've done. You may not be giving yourself credit, and there's someone like a me or someone else looking at you and really thinking that you've done well.
Awesome. Very encouraging. So my final word is not going to be positive at all. Sorry. It's going to be real though. So here's what I'm going to say. It doesn't matter how much you pay in taxes. It doesn't matter how high or low gas prices are. It doesn't matter if you don't get the next job because you're black or you're gay or you're a woman. None of that matters if we have a dictator for president. That's all I'm going to say. And with that note, I love y'all. Thank you for joining us on the side, Jawn. And I hope we can see you again real soon. Okay?
Bye.
Bye, y'all. I do something called the 5-star shout out.